Season of the Splicer is just around the corner, and given the recent Sandbox updates and changes coming to Destiny 2, weapons and perks, they're going to be tuned, meaning some of the weapons that may have been useless in the current Sandbox are about to become very useful indeed, and are definitely worth getting your hands on. Well, today I'm going to go through a number of weapons that you should get your hands on for Season 14, how to get them, and why they're going to be good. Well, if you find this useful, or you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. Well, all of the following weapons are available in the game right now, and there is a split here between legendary and exotic weapons, and I'll talk a little bit about how to get them, but feel free to ask any questions down there in the comments. And before we get into the main part of the video today, let me know what weapons you're looking forward to using down there in the comments. Well, without further delay, let's dive into the list of the best weapons to get for Season of the Splicer. Well, first up, we got the Shadow Price, and this one is a legendary energy auto rifle that has a precision frame, meaning the weapon's recoil pattern is much more predictably vertical. So the most popular role out there is Dragonfly and Overflow, but also Feeding Frenzy and Swashbuckler would be really good. So both of those would be quite good for PvE, and the third most popular is Killing Wind, and One for All, and I think that would be quite a good PvP role. Thresh and Surplus is also popular. So to get this weapon, it's a random drop from the end of Nightfall Strikes, and it is available this week leading up to Season of the Splicer. So if you haven't got one yet, jump into Nightfalls and hopefully one will drop for you. So as you increase the difficulty of the Nightfalls, the chances for getting the weapon is greater, so try and do the highest Nightfall you can based on your power level. So in Season 14, this archetype of weapon is getting a buff from 17 damage per bullet to 18. It doesn't really sound like a lot, but it's likely that the 450 auto rifles will take the place of the 600 RPM autos, which have been popular for some time. Well, next up, it's the Extraordinary Rendition, and this one is a submachine gun, and I'm calling this one out, especially if you've got a roll with Subsistence. So Extraordinary Rendition is a legendary kinetic submachine gun with an aggressive frame, meaning it's got high damage and high recoil. So Subsistence is getting a buff in Season 14, so that one with Rampage would be a really good roll to look out for. But to get this weapon, you can get it from Battlegrounds, so that is the PvE activity found in Season of the Chosen, and you can pick it from the Vanguard screen. There's also the Prismatic Recaster and Umbral Decoder in the helm, and you can focus Umbral engrams to target farm that loot. So get some upgrades through the seasonal challenges, and upgrade the war table in the helm to open up some more options to give you that flexibility to focus farm your weapons from the Umbral Decoder. Well, this one is going to be good because we're going to get a buff to Subsistence next season. So submachine guns now receive the same ammo fraction per takedown that auto rifles do, and it was 10%, like most weapons, and now it's going to be 17%, same as auto rifles. So if you've got an Extraordinary Rendition with Subsistence, well, I reckon this one is going to be really good. Well, next up we've got Retold Tale, and specifically with Quick Draw. So Retold Tale is a legendary energy shotgun with a precision frame, meaning the weapon's recoil pattern is much more predictably vertical. And this one can still roll with Quick Draw, and it could be a decent replacement for Astral Horizon and Fellwinter's Lie, as Quick Draw is getting removed from Astral and Fellwinter's, so finding a replacement shotgun would be a decent idea, so if you really enjoy using Quick Draw in PvP. Another option is Blasphemer, but I would go for the Retold Tale, really good. So you can get that one from the Dreaming City, and what I would do is go and pick up all the bounties from Petra, and then look for the ones with the legendary engrams, and then go into the Shattered Throne dungeon, open them up, and you get dungeon loot. So it's a really nice and easy way to get dungeon loot really fast. You can, of course, do the dungeon as well, and hope you'll get a Retold Tale drop. And I think you can get it as well with Vorpal weapons, so that'd be really good. Well, next up we've got Tarantula. So Tarantula is a legendary power linear fusion rifle with a precision frame, meaning it fires a long-range precision energy bolt. This weapon's recoil pattern is much more predictably vertical. So for PvE, Feeding Frenzy and Wellspring would be really good, and PvP, Moving Target and Snapshot Sights would be the role to go after. So the most popular role out in the community at the moment is Feeding Frenzy and Dragonfly for those elemental damage explosions. Well, to get this one, it's in the loot pool introduced as part of Season of the Chosen. It's available through Chosen loot drops via the Prismatic Recaster. And in Season 14, linear fusion rifles are getting a blanket buff of increased precision damage by 15%, and you're also getting increased reserve ammo by 20%. So for me, it was a coin flip between this and Threaded Needle, but personally I prefer the feel of Tarantula. Well, that is it for the legendary weapons, but next up, let's have a look at some of the exotics. And first up, we got Last Word, and this is an exotic kinetic hand cannon, and specifically, we're looking at hip-fire grip here. So the Last Word, as I said, is an exotic kinetic hand cannon. It's got an 82 reload speed, making this one really, really useful in PvP. And together with the base reload speed, the main perk on this weapon is Fan Fire, where the weapon can be fired continuously and quickly. So faster reload and increased accuracy on successive hip-fire damage. And this one is 225 rounds per minute with 8 in the magazine, meaning you're going to get off quick shots, and this one's going to make it really effective in PvP. So in Season 14, hip-fire grip is getting a buff of +1 degrees precision hip-fire angle threshold and +1.2x reticle stickiness fall-off distance. So this is more than likely going to affect controller users more than mouse and keyboard, but it's going to make the Last Word very deadly once again, especially given 120 hand cannons are getting that nerf, and I do think that Last Word is about to rise to the top once again. So to get this one, you can pick this up from the tower in the Monument to Lost Light. Just check out the Forsaken exotics. Well, next up we've got Dead Man's Tail, and specifically with the Catalyst. So Dead Man's Tail is an exotic kinetic scout rifle, and checking out the perks, we've got Cranial Spike. So chaining precision hits grants bonus damage and quickens reload speed. And also you can get random rolls on this one too. This is another one that has one of those transformative perks. So you get that on your first drop when you do Presage, but after your first drop you'll get a random roll. So that is really, really good. So this scout rifle has to be one of the best feeling in the game. I can't tell you how good it feels and also how good it sounds as well. So to get this one, you can get it from the Presage exotic mission on Entangled Shore. It's up there in the top left. And you can also get the Catalyst from running the hard difficulty version. So this one is definitely going to benefit from the 120 hand cannon nerf, so I would expect to see a lot of Dead Man's Tail in Crucible in Season of the Splice. So it is likely we're going to see a nerf to this one in Season 14, so I would use it early and maximise the use out of Dead Man's Tail. Well, next up we've got Bastion, and Bastion is an exotic kinetic fusion rifle, so it's really, really good fun and unique. It's also a really, really good choice for PvP. It's got hammer forged rifling, liquid coils, and composite stock at the standard perks. It's also got Saint's Fists, so you charge to fire 3 spreads of kinetic slugs. It's got breakthrough as well, so a portion of this weapon's damage bypasses elemental shields. The Saint's Fists allows the weapon to shoot 3 slugs and multiple bullets. They're pretty strong and can stop supers in their tracks in PvP, however, it doesn't do precision damage. So fusion rifles are getting a range buff, increased damage fall off start distance next season, so it's going to have no effect on a 100 range stat and +2 meters on a 0 range stat. So hopefully we will see a little bit more of Bastion next season. It's also getting intrinsic staggering to unstoppable champions, but it could be offset by the increased spread angle, and that is going to increase by 13%. So Bastion is already great in PvP, and I think it's about to get a little bit better. And again, you can pick this one up from the Monument to Lost Lights. You can find that in the tower next to the vault. And finally today we've got Sleeper Simulant. That old classic is an exotic power linear fusion rifle. So looking at the perks, so we've got Dawn Roshen, so the weapon's laser overpenetrates enemies and refracts off hard surfaces. And we've got moving targets, so increased movement speed, and target acquisition when moving while aiming down sights. So compared to a standard linear fusion rifle, the Sleeper Simulant has got much more range and accuracy, so each beam fired has virtually unlimited range, as well as no damage fall off, meaning the damage inflicted either at close or long range will be the same. And talking about the damage, the Sleeper Simulant inflicts extremely high damage per shot, making it a devastating weapon to use against bosses. And I think this one is going to be really, really useful next season in the Vault of Glass. So if you're looking to run the Vault of Glass, I would get your hands on Sleeper Simulant. To get this one, you can buy it from the Monuments to Lost Lights, and this can be found in the tower, and look under the Red War exotics. I did do a guide on how to get it, and you can check that out here. So Sleeper is going to benefit from that blanket buff of increased precision damage by 15%, to linear fusion rifles, and also that increased reserve ammo by 20%. It's also got the chance to dish more damage as it refracts off hard surfaces. Well, that is my pick of the weapons for Season of the Splicer, Season 14 in Destiny 2, and let me know what you think down there in the comments and which weapons you're going to be picking up in Season 14. Well, that is not to mention the 30 new and reprised weapons that are also coming back next season, so I think there's going to be plenty of choice, but hopefully some of these weapons that are available now, you can go out there and prepare, get these weapons, and when Season of the Splicer starts next Tuesday, well, you're going to be ready to dish out that damage to the Vex. Well, that is it for this guide for the best weapons to get in Season of the Splicer, And as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. If you want to join the community, check out the Discord link in the description, or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks again. See you soon.